Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 6:49 p.m. on this beautiful beautiful, it's not Sunday, Saturday evening. I'm like rushing the weekend ahead, aren't I? Probably because I just love Sundays so much, and Sundays are so relaxing, and it's a very relaxing day. I'm watching my neighbor. He keeps on going in and out from grilling. They are having a boil tonight, which is so funny because she was the one that recommended the book to me, Low Country Boil, I believe. Low Country Boil, which is this month's book for Peter's Book Club. And it's a cozy mystery. It's book 1 in the cozy mystery series. And so many people have told me that they loved it. And so then tonight she was like, didn't you want to know what I always ask them what they're having for dinner, and I didn't ask earlier. And so she's like, don't you want to know what we're having for dinner? And I was like, what are you having for dinner? And she said, well, we're having a shrimp boil. Shrimp and like Italian or summer sausage, and then corn on the cob and a bunch of other vegetables. So he's out there grilling it right now. They like got a mix of stuff. And so then I said, don't you want to know what I'm having for dinner? And she goes, let me guess. Piata? I said, how did you guess? So I just ordered my piata. My DoorDash is up right here. And last night I got the salad, the sandwich, and the pasta, and the breadstick, the Parmesan stick. And I had forgotten that I had half of a sandwich in the fridge, that I didn't eat the whole sandwich the day before. So last night I ate the pasta, the stick, the Parmesan stick, the Parmesan stick, and the first half of the sandwich. So the sandwich I ordered yesterday, I put in the refrigerator, and I didn't eat any of the salad. And so right now, I ordered pasta and a Parmesan stick, because I'm really craving pasta right now. Tanya was like the other night when we were talking, she's like, you get pasta every single night. I go, I know, I love it. And I'm not gaining, like, I go up like a pound or two, and I go down a pound or two, or whatever. So, oh, they must be done, because he's like pulling the grill in. Oh, they must be done. They usually eat dinner pretty early, like between 4 and 6, but usually like closer to like 5 is when they eat, so they must have been done. I thought he was going back and forth. Maybe he was cleaning the grill. I don't know. She was out earlier watering her plants. They both make an appearance in my Peterisms video today, because while I was out here filming, they were asking me if I had ever taken acting classes. Like, I'll say to them, like, I'm getting ready to film videos, you know? And he's the one, he's always like, yeah, I love listening to you. He's like, I don't ever know any of the people that you're talking about. She's kind of said that too, but I always say, like, do you guys care if I'm filming videos? They're like, no, not at all. They think it's hysterical. So, but they were both like, have you ever taken acting classes? And I was like, no. I said, when I was a little kid, I was like part of this acting group, like in 6th grade, but no, not other than that. And they're like, if this YouTube thing doesn't work out for you, you could always be an actor and take acting classes. I don't know why today this is so different. I noticed this on my drama video that I did today, but this has really been going in and out of focus lately. Have you guys noticed that on the vlogs when I sit out here? It usually doesn't, sitting out here, but because there's like nothing behind me except for maybe the door to focus on, but lately it has. I had this Whitney Houston t-shirt on that I was wearing earlier, and I had taken this off because I wore this yesterday after we got done at the pool, and then I have sweat shorts on, so I was just kind of like, these were my PJs last night. And I mean, I didn't really get it dirty or anything, just sat here and watched TV shows. So when I got up today, I put this on, but then I put the Whitney Houston t-shirt on to film videos, and which I did a TikTok today. I like almost never do TikToks, and I saw this TikTok of somebody dancing to this Whitney Houston mix, and I was like, okay, this is so perfect, especially since I have this Whitney Houston t-shirt on. So I'm going to do this today, and I had a really good time doing that. So go check out my TikTok. But anyway, but this shirt is baggier and it's more comfortable, so I just took the Whitney Houston shirt off and put on this t-shirt instead. And I'm drinking some water with my new cup that I got from Starbucks, that Caroline said looks like a cheap cup from Kings Island. Kings Island's an amusement park that we used to go to when we were kids. It's in Cincinnati, but it kind of does look like a cheap cup. I like it for drinking water. I don't know if you guys wonder this, because a lot of my friends will be like, you love those Starbucks cups, like, do they keep your drinks like extra hot or extra cold? No, they're not like a Stanley cup. In fact, I put this water in here about a half an hour ago, and it's already kind of lukewarm. the cups don't keep your coffee. I don't find that they do. They don't keep your coffee hot or cold or anything like that, you know. So really, it's all just about the aesthetics of the Starbucks cups. I know, and they're expensive, but I love them so much. So they're just fun. I just think they're fun, you know, to have something different. So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of my day. I got up today. Alex is upstairs taking a nap right now because he is going out to dinner for his friend's birthday tonight. Last night was a friend's birthday, and then he went over to her house. I actually thought he would stay out a lot longer than he did, but he Ubered home. I was out here watching shows, and I've been on the phone talking to people, and he Ubered home. I think it was like, I mean, for you guys, it'll probably be late, but I think it was like 2 o'clock. I thought he would like stay out a lot later than that, because they like went to dinner at this place called Salt, which is like a steak seafood place. There's one in downtown Indianapolis, but they went to the one out at like Geist, which is kind of where my dad lives, which is on this reservoir. So they went there and they were at dinner for a couple hours, and then afterwards they went back to her house and they played games and stuff like that. And then apparently they ordered Taco Bell. I mean, he had a steak and mac and cheese and all this kind of stuff. What did he say he got for a side? Hold on a second. Oh my God. Oh, my DoorDasher is at Piata waiting to get it picked up. I asked him, here was a screenshot of them playing games last night on the TV. I asked him, I said, did you have steak? And he said, yeah, because he loves a good steak from a steakhouse. And I said, was it good? And he goes, so good. Got the fried cauliflower as my side. It was good, but better at livery, because we love livery. And then he said that her sister got mac and cheese, so they shared their sides. And then I took a picture of Boo Radley sleeping to send to him. I actually took a couple pictures of Boo Radley last night. Do you guys want to see? I'll show you. So this is Mr. Boo Radley sleeping. Isn't he so sweet? And then, because I told Alex when we were on vacation, because I was looking at all of these videos, and I was like, I need to take more videos of Boo Radley. I have quite a few, but I definitely have more of Tucker and Pee-Pee. And so I was like, I want to start taking more and more videos of Boo Radley. So this was Boo Radley sleeping last night.
Are you tired, little guy? Are you tired, Boo Radley?
I love watching him sleep.
Oh. Say I'm sleeping on my dad's pillow. 'Cause I'm awfully tired. You don't have to bother me anymore. My eyes slowly close.
His little eyes were like closing. I just got a text from Piata that my food is on the way, I think. That's what it was. Hey Peter, your order has been picked up from Piata Italian Street Food and your dasher is on the way. So my food is on its way. And I'm not going to vlog for a long time tonight because it's the weekend and I know you guys don't watch the vlogs as much on the weekend, so this will be a little bit of a shorter vlog, but I'm still going to vlog because I love to vlog. Because I love to do this. So anyway, last night, I actually did lay down and take a nap, but I didn't really ever fall asleep. And I just kind of like laid there for like an hour and a half. It didn't bother me that I didn't fall asleep. It was just kind of relaxing to lay in bed and talk to Boo Radley and whatever, you know. And the fan was so nice. And so I got up and talked on the phone for like, God, for a long time, for like an hour and a half, different people. And then I watched The Crowded Room. I watched 3 things, but I can't remember what the second thing was I watched. I watched The Crowded Room. The last thing I watched was, like, the first half of the last episode of Cruel Summer. I'm so ready for that show to be over. It's, like, Alex and I were talking about it yesterday, and I said, do you like it? Because the first season was really good. The second season's not bad. It's just, it is so dragged out. And I thought there were, because I told him yesterday, because this was the 8th episode, and I said, or no, this was the 7th episode, and I said, well, there's only 2 episodes left. I don't know what episode I thought it was, but I said something about there's only like 2 episodes left, or an episode left, or something. He goes, is it only, maybe it was the 8th episode, I don't know. He said, is it only so many episodes long? And I said, oh no, and I looked, and it's 10 episodes. And And I said, so what do you think? Do you like it? And he goes, I mean, I'm continuing to watch it because I've invested so much time in it now. He goes, but no, it's not very good. It's not very good. And the first season, there was like so many different like different new discoveries in every episode. Like you'd be like watching it, you'd be like, oh my God, like, you know, there's so many new things you found out in each episode. It's not like that. I mean, basically everything that you find out, you knew in like the first 2 episodes. And so it's just, it feels like it's just dragging out. The Crowded Room, the episode yesterday was good. It's another show. It's very dark. It's very sad. And I'm really kind of just ready for it to be over too. And I think it has 2 more episodes. So Cruel Summer has 2 more episodes, so 2 more weeks. And the Crowded Room, I keep wanting to say the Empty Room. The Crowded Room has 2 more episodes. So in 2 weeks, I'll be done with both of those shows. And then we did not watch RuPaul last night because he went out, and he's going out again tonight to dinner. He's going to Prime in Carmel, which is another steakhouse. And I don't know a lot of these people that he's going. So last night was just girlfriends. I don't even think his friend's boyfriend ended up, her birthday. I don't even think it was like, I don't think her boyfriend ended up going to dinner. I think he only met them like at the house to play games and stuff later. So it was like no boyfriends or partners or anything like that. Tonight, the girl whose birthday it is, I know, like, because she's a really good friend of Alex's. But the other people, I don't really know that well. And he invited me to go to both of the things. And I just was like, I think I'm just going to relax and stay at home and watch shows. Maybe take a nap in a little bit. So yeah. So he's going to Prime in Carmel, which is a steakhouse. And it's actually a really good steakhouse. And they, interestingly enough, so all of my friends always want to go to steakhouses for their birthdays and stuff. Melissa and Jason always, they love a good steakhouse. Melissa's like favorite thing is like shrimp cocktail from this Harry and Izzy's steakhouse up the street, or she loves the shrimp cocktail from Ruth Chris. So she always, like, for holidays, Valentine's Day and stuff, we always go to like steakhouses, which I usually get like a wedge salad with no bacon and then like a side or like a baked potato or something like that. It's not like hard for me to eat in a steakhouse. Interestingly enough though, like the first time I was a vegetarian, I was craving chicken fingers like crazy. This time I will say, and people always say to me like, oh, it's because you lack iron or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. I have all my levels checked. I'm fine on everything, okay? Just when we go to a steakhouse and like Alex gets a filet, I don't know why. And sometimes when friends get New York strips, because I used to eat those as little kids, like, and it's so weird because I know that if you put one in front of me and I said I wasn't a vegetarian anymore, like I think I would have a really difficult time eating it. But sometimes like a steak like kind of looks good, or like the steakhouse smells good or something. It's kind of weird as a vegetarian, you know, but like I wouldn't eat one obviously. But anyway, at this Prime that he's going to, we went there, God, it's been a couple years now. And actually a friend of ours used to own the restaurant. I don't think he does anymore, but it's a really nice restaurant. And we used to go there, God, every couple months for somebody's birthday, it seems like. And they actually have a vegetarian pasta dish with like different vegetables and stuff on it. They have that in there on their menu, which I think is fantastic because a lot of steakhouses don't have a vegetarian option, and they do, which I think is really great. Sometimes if you go to restaurants where they don't have on the menu a vegetarian option, the chef will have a vegetarian option that they can do, and all you have to do is ask. So I don't know if you're a newer vegetarian, you don't know that. Like I've gone places where it's really hard for me. Like they'll have like mac and cheese will be like lobster mac and cheese, or like everything they have they cook with like chicken stock or beef stock or something like that. So there's literally nothing for me to get on the menu. And so I'll say to the server, I'll be like, does your chef have any vegetarian options? And they're always like, yeah. I mean, especially if you go to like a high-end restaurant, like a steakhouse or something, they'll always be like, oh, absolutely. Like, let me go ask him what it is, or ask her what it is. And they'll come back and they'll be like, yeah, he said he could do like a risotto for you, or he could do this for you, or whatever, or she could do this. And they're always very understanding. What's interesting to me is that I have several friends of mine whose husbands are chefs, and they are typically vegetarians. Like I think I have 3 friends whose husbands are chefs, and 2 of the 3 of them are vegetarians. Isn't that crazy? So there was also on Below Deck Mediterranean, one of the chefs, she kind of stepped in for somebody else. She was vegan, which I thought was interesting. So she could never taste any of her own food. Or she would taste it and then like spit it out, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't think I would do that. But I mean, I understand if you're a chef, that's probably what you have to do. I feel like this is my Piata that is coming to the door right now. Hold on a second. I can hear a car slowly pulling up. It's Piata time. It's Piata. I don't have anything cold in this. I have pasta and my Parmesan stick, so I don't have to run inside to put it in there. Yep, this is it. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
How are you?
Okay.
You're a couple business, huh? Thank you so much. Have a good one. Drive safe. Okay. Here's my Piata. I'll show it to you guys in just a second because I know people are... Right as I pulled up my phone, I hit the table with it, and then the camera fell off, and so I just... Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was like looking to see why I was getting all these texts. So the text is from the people that delivered my food, which it was so cute because it was like a couple. She was so friendly. She was so sweet. But anyway, let me show you what I got. I'll show you guys what I get. So this is the Piata stick. It's so hot. This is the Piata Parmesan stick. And this is what it looks like. I cut it in half, or I just rip it in half. Oh, it's falling all over the place. It has all these little crunchies on there, which are so good. And then you dip it in this, I don't know if you guys can see it. You dip it in this spicy chipotle, like mayo sauce, which is really delicious. They have different sauces that you can dip it in. And then, this is my pasta that I get. And this is what it looks like. It's like a cream sauce. It's got tomatoes on it and like angel hair pasta. It's really, really good. Ah. And I usually only eat half of it, but last night, because I only ate half of the sandwich, I ate the whole thing and it was delicious. Hold on a second. Uh-oh, everything's spilling in here. And then they also give you silverware, but I don't use that silverware. Rip up the receipts. I got $10 off my order today because I have all these rewards. I don't know why that is, but I'm not like a member of the DoorDash thing or whatever. What was I talking about? I don't remember. I like really truly do not remember what I was talking about. I was talking about shows, the crowded... I was talking about something after that, but I don't remember what I was talking about, so I apologize. But I watched The Crowded Room. When I was watching that, I think that's when Alex came home, and then I started watching Cruel Summer. And I watched like half of it, and then I started getting tired, so I was like, I think I need to try to go to sleep now. Use my pillow spray. I will say I do believe that it works, because it helped me, and I didn't use anything else last night. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, I want to say, I'm like getting like bombarded with comments about my sleep, and everybody's saying, well, it's probably this, or you should do that, or you should do this, or whatever. And I was reading through all the comments last night, which I just want to say I really appreciate it, because it's you guys sharing your personal stories and trying to help me. And listen, I totally understand it. I get it, right? And if I'm going to share my story, I'm going to put my story out there, like, I know that I'm going to get responses back. But it was funny because somebody commented, and I don't know who it was, but thank you, because they said something like, I don't know if they responded to somebody or if they just put the comment out there, and they said, Peter has asked in the past for people not to give him like medical advice or whatever, because it's overwhelming to him, and I think that we should probably, like, there's so many comments in here that are like giving him advice on his sleeping and what he should do and medicine and things like that. And somebody responded to this person and said something like, yes, but I think that it's coming from a very caring place and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that it is coming from a very caring place, and I know that you guys are just really trying to help me. The thing is this, okay, so It's very similar to when I talk about weight loss, and somebody will say, I'll get a comment that will be like, you need to do keto. Keto is like the only way. And then somebody will say, Weight Watchers helped me immensely. And somebody will say, you need to go to a nutritionist and a dietitian. And so literally, like, if I went through and I wrote down like every different suggestion that I get, I would have like 25 to 30 different suggestions. Okay, so it is a little overwhelming because I'm like, okay, I don't know which one I should do, right? Similar with like the pancreatitis, and people were making guesses and sharing their own personal stories just because you guys wanted to help. I mean, I totally know that that's what it is. None of the comments are nasty. All the comments are very loving and nice. I mean, a lot of you guys, I think because you want to help, but you also don't want to overwhelm me, you'll put like, little, sweet emojis, and you'll say, just trying to help, love you so much, or whatever, which I appreciate, right? But like with the medical advice, I said at one point that it was overwhelming to me, and that I literally, like, if I went into a list with all of these different concerns to my doctors, like, I would have doctor's office appointments every week because I would have to address all these issues. I think the best thing for me to do, especially since I've kind of talked about it like ad nauseum, I love that saying, but I've talked about it ad nauseum at length at this point about my sleep problems. I think at this point, it kind of falls on me, to be honest with you, because you guys are trying to be so helpful, and I appreciate that. It is overwhelming to me, and I don't want you guys to feel bad for leaving messages or comments or anything, whatever, and trying to help me, because I so appreciate it. I really do. And every one of you that left a comment, it was like a really nice comment that I could really realize from and the person that left a comment that said, I don't think we should be leaving Peter comments like this because it's overwhelming for him, even that was like, I think it was a she. She wasn't like shaming anybody. She was just trying to be helpful, But it's true. It is overwhelming to me. But then I think the burden lies on me to not continue to bring up these issues where people are going to want to give advice or suggestions. If I say, I don't know what TV shows to watch, I'm going to get 20 suggestions from people that are going to say, well, you should watch this, or you should watch that, and you should watch this, right? And it's my job to weed through that and do it. If I don't mention it that I need TV shows to watch, nobody's going to leave that comment. So if I'm talking about medical issues or weight loss or sleeping problems, it just makes sense that you guys are so kind and caring to watch my videos, and you're so invested in it, they're going to leave really suggestive, nice comments in there, right? So if it's overwhelming to me, then the burden lies on me to not continue to talk about it at length if I can't handle the comments, if that makes sense. So what I've kind of decided to do is, when it comes to any medical issues, or when it comes to weight loss or sleep issues, I will give you guys updates from time to time. Like, I'm not going to stop telling you guys what's going on, but I'm not going to talk about it every day. I mean, I've talked about me having problems sleeping for like literally the last 5 or 6 days. It's a lot. I'm sure some of you are like, God, could he shut up about the sleep? Even my friend Tanya is just kind of like, at this point, right? So I get it. I totally get it, right? So I'm just going to kind of give you guys updates about stuff like that. If you feel at that point the need to leave a comment, or you have a suggestion that you think will help me and things like that, like, let me just give you an example, like with the trazodone. If you read through the comments, I mean, literally some of them right on top of each other. Somebody will say, trazodone, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, okay, trazodone has withdrawal symptoms. You need to be very, very careful. And the next comment will say, trazodone only has withdrawal symptoms if it's prescribed as an antidepressant at larger doses than what you're taking. And then the next one underneath there will say, don't take trazodone, it's really dangerous. And then the next one underneath there will say, trazodone was really helpful to me. And then the person underneath there will say, yeah, trazodone took me a while to get used to, but it was really helpful for me. Can you imagine what that's like to read? Like, I mean, and in all honesty, like, I really want to have conversations about this because I really want people to help me. And it's not like I'm waiting for the right answer, I don't know what to think about this stuff. So when I read your comments, like, they're helpful to me, but then my mind kind of goes in 50 different directions, you know what I mean? So as of now, I am not going to continue to take the trazodone. I took it twice. It didn't really work. I'm going to talk to my doctor. I'm going to call my doctor this week and ask him if it has to build up or what he suggests and things like that. I'm going to continue to do the pillow spray and drink my sleepy time tea because that seems to work. And then if I'm like really having a hard time sleeping, then I am going to do the herbal sleep supplement. Other than that, that's just kind of where I'm at this point. And then what I'm going to really try to do, because a lot of people were like, I think the other thing is that, like, I get a lot of suggestions that, like, I already know. But, like, have you ever been your own worst enemy? You know, probably a lot of you out there are like, yeah, I am. But, like, a lot of people are like, you need to be on a stricter sleep schedule. Okay, that's nothing that my husband or my best friend or my sponsor and doctors haven't told me, right? Like, I understand that, like, taking a nap late at night and getting up and watching TV shows till, you know, all hours of the night is probably not healthy for my sleep. Trust me, I totally know that. I take full responsibility for that. I know that if I went to bed at 10 o'clock every night and got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, that, you know, I probably would get on a regular schedule and I would fall asleep easier and things like that, you know. I've just always been a night owl, and I love sitting out here late at night. I love watching my shows and drinking, you know, my sparkling juices or, you know, a cup of decaf coffee or whatever, or water and herbal tea. I just love that, right? Like, that's kind of my time of day to relax, and I don't know that I'm willing to give that up, even at the expense of not being able to sleep. Now, the other night when I fell asleep, whether it was just because I was so tired or because of the pillow spray, I got a fantastic night's sleep, right? The other thing is, if I get up really early in the morning, I can't really start work until Alex leaves, and he doesn't usually leave really early in the morning. He usually leaves about 9, or between 9 and 10 sometimes, you know? He's been going in later. The other day he did go in early because he had a meeting. I think that was Friday. They had to be in at work at 7, but usually he goes in later. So if I get up at 6, I have to sit here for 3 or 4 hours unless I want to film out here, which I can do in the summer. But during, like, the fall and the winter, I can't do that. So that was one of the reasons why I wasn't getting up earlier, or that I was using that as an excuse. I don't know, because I wanted to stay up late. But I'm fully aware that if I had a better sleep schedule, that I would probably fall asleep easier. I'm totally fully aware of that. The one thing I was doing for a while, and it was really helping me, and I felt more rested, and I think I need to get back to this, is that when I go to bed, and, like, let's say if I go to bed with Alex at 10 o'clock and I lay down to take a nap, like, if I continue to sleep, I just need to stay asleep and, like, not get up and watch shows. Like, I need to just, because sometimes I'll go to take a nap and, like last night, I'll lay there for like an hour and a half and I won't fall. Didn't I say I wasn't going to talk about all this? And here I am talking about all of it again. See, this is the problem. But, and feel free to leave whatever comments. I don't want to, don't feel any shame or guilt about leaving me comments. Like, that's on me. I take full responsibility for that, okay? And like, a lot of the comments that you guys, again, I don't want to specifically call people out, but a lot of the comments that you guys have left me have been super helpful to me, in all honesty, right? So, and in fact, somebody mentioned a different pillow spray. I can't remember what it was called, but I screenshot it. Then I'm going to buy that one too and try that. But it was a different one that I bought. So anyway, I'm just going to try to, like, from now on, if I lay down at, like, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, to lay down for a little bit. Because I'll say, oh, I'm going to lay down for an hour, I'm going to get up and watch my shows. If I lay down at 10 or 11 o'clock, I know people are going to call me on this. I know my haters are going to be like, well, Peter, I thought you said you were going to go to bed at 10 o'clock. And then tomorrow I'll be like, well, I took a nap at 10 o'clock and then I got up and watched my shows. People will be like, Peter, you said you were going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock. So I am going to try, not every night, but I mean, I may lay down and take a nap for an hour and get up and watch my shows. But several days a week, I'm going to try to go to bed earlier and get a full night's sleep, because I think that that does really help me, you know? And so I did hear that, and I'm fully aware that a better sleep schedule would help me and things like that. And I know you guys just care. I mean, I'm not stupid. Like, it means a lot to me that you guys leave the comments, and I don't want anybody to feel like ashamed or guilty and like, oh God, I shouldn't leave this comment because Peter's overwhelmed. That's on me, and I take full responsibility for that if I can't handle the comments, you know what I mean? So don't ever feel bad about that. So yeah, so last night I watched those shows and then I went to bed. I fell asleep quicker than I usually do, but I still struggled falling asleep. I would say it was more similar to before I had sleep problems last night. So anyway, slept in today, and I mean, I went to bed late last night. So got up today, slept in. Boo Radley and Alex were like still asleep when I got up. And he must have really needed to catch up on his sleep, because Alex went to bed like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours before I did, because he got home and he went right to bed. Boo Radley was so cute. He was still asleep. And so I got up and came downstairs, made a cup of iced coffee, which I've been drinking over the last couple hours. For one of my videos, I got this water, but then I finished my iced coffee too. I was doing some videos. I did a Biscoff review of that Biscoff ice cream bars, and I did a long Peterisms video. I'm loving answering and responding to people's questions on Peterisms. I said that yesterday, but I'm really having a good time with that. So I went upstairs and I washed my face and I brushed my teeth and all that kind of stuff and I use mouthwash. People always ask me about mouthwash. They're like, do you use alcohol mouthwash? No, I use alcohol-free mouthwash. I'm kind of very weird about those things. I'm like, do I want to talk about this or not? Okay, so I got like some very pointed questions that people still don't understand about me not using products. To be honest with you guys, it's really just not that deep. But people don't understand why I won't use products that are made from hemp that won't get me high. And somebody compared it and said, is it like ... something like whatever. Okay. Is it the brand or is it the fact that it's made from hemp? It's not the brand. Okay. So let me just make that clear. Like they were, because I was talking about Bud Light or what I'm talking about 28 years of sobriety. I'm not just talking about things that are going on right now, you know, in the world. I was saying it to Tanya the other day. We were going to the pools after the meeting. I was explaining it to her. And I was like, you know, it's interesting to me that people get so confused about this. Like, this is just like a limit that I set, right? It's kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like if you went caffeine free and au naturel, right? Like you wouldn't have any caffeine products in your house. And like if people came over, you wouldn't like offer them caffeine because you would just have like decaffeinated. Maybe this is a bad analogy. You would just have decaffeinated products or whatever, right? Like, because you really felt the stance of like, I don't want to be representative of anything that is related to caffeine. This is a really bad example. And so I was saying this to Tanya about the thing, and she's like, you wouldn't wear anything that had hemp in it? And I go, no. And she does, and she has in the past. And she's like, I just don't care about that kind of stuff. And I was like, I know you don't. But like, for me, I was a huge pothead, and I don't talk a lot about that. I talk mostly about the alcohol and the pills and cocaine and things like that, but I was a huge pothead. Like, I smoked pot all day, every day, right? I understand that me wearing a hemp shirt or hemp pair of shoes is not going to get me high. I understand that, right? I understand that me using products that have CBD in it are not going to necessarily get me high, even though some people do feel like that they are and it was even commented on my video. I get that, right? For me personally, it was just a decision that I made early on that I didn't want to wear anything that represented a lifestyle of drinking or anything that, no matter what the brand was, okay, or anything that represented drug use. I mean, I wouldn't wear a t-shirt that was like making a joke about cocaine or pills or something like that, right? Like that's just not, I don't want to be representative of that today. I want to be representative of a person that's sober. So although I understand that hemp is a product that is made from a cannabis plant that has absolutely, I know it's ridiculous, okay? Trust me, I get it, okay? Tanya's not the only person in recovery that I've had this conversation with that's like, yeah, I don't get it, right? But it's something for me that I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like, I smoked a lot of pot back in the day. I supported cannabis a lot back in the day with my pocketbook and, you know, my illegal dealings, and that's not something that I want to be supportive of anymore. Period, end of story. I don't care. I have friends of mine that smoke pot. Do what you do, right? Like, I don't judge it. I don't care about it. Use CBD products, whatever. I have no issues with that. I don't have any issues with what somebody else wants to do. I'm just talking about me personally. I don't want to wear, like, I wouldn't wear a shirt with a marijuana leaf on it, okay? Now, that marijuana leaf shirt ain't gonna get me high or whatever, but it's representative of a lifestyle of supporting cannabis. Like, I know this does not make sense to some people out there, okay? I totally get that, right? This is just a decision that I have made. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense. I know it doesn't to a lot of people. That's fine. To me, it makes sense. So, it's whatever, but I kind of didn't want to bring it up because I know to the people that don't get it, it's like, does anybody get what I'm saying out there? Does anybody? Because I feel like I talk to a lot of people about this and they're like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Even people that are sober. And then there'll be other people that are sober that I talk to about it and they're like, oh yeah, I totally understand it. You know, like, but just a few. I have to be honest. Like, they're like, yeah, no, but most of my friends in recovery aren't people that would like be wearing like hemp clothes anyway or something like that. But I loved when I got the comments and people were like, Peter, you do realize you're not going to get like high from wearing a hemp shirt. It's not about that to me. I totally get that, right? It's about the representation of that culture. You know, like I wouldn't wear socks that had marijuana leaves on them, or, you know, a hoodie or what. I mean, I totally am fully aware that that's not going to get me high, but I wouldn't do that, right? Just like I wouldn't wear a shirt that has like a beer mug on it, or a hat that says, you know, like Moosehead Beer or whatever. I just wouldn't do that, you know, like, and that's just a decision that I've made. It's just a personal decision, you know. And I don't judge anybody that does, you know, like, do you, you know what I mean? But that's just, and maybe like, okay, maybe the t-shirt with a marijuana leaf on it makes more sense than like a hemp product, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really, to be honest with you, come into that many products that are hemp, if that makes sense. So, like, I don't take issue with that or whatever. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? So maybe like the clothing that has like marijuana leaves on it, like that's probably a better example. Like, it's not like I ever like run into situations where something's made from hemp and I'm like, ooh, like I'm not gonna buy that, which I probably wouldn't. But it's not like I come into like, the only places I've ever encountered like hemp clothing are like hippie stores from back in the day. Like, it's not like places I go, like Macy's has a lot of hemp clothing. But, you know, like, I mean, if I bought a shirt and it had hemp in it, it's not like I'd burn it at the stake and be like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just really not that deep. It's just a decision that I made a long time ago, and if I was going to be sober, I didn't want to wear. And it was interesting because I went to a meeting not, you know, too long ago, and somebody had a t-shirt on that was like a beer t-shirt, and I thought, well, this is interesting that you're at a meeting with a beer t-shirt on. But a lot of people don't think about it that way. A lot of people don't care, you know. So I mean, this is just a personal decision. It's just me, right? So anyway, I wanted to talk about that. But today I got up and washed my face, brushed my teeth, and mouthwash and all that kind of stuff, and then pulled out a t-shirt from the basement of the Whitney Houston t-shirt. And then I was like, I'd already made a list of videos that I wanted to make. I actually didn't get all the videos done that I wanted to make. I wanted to do... Oh, Nikki just texted me and said she loves the TikTok that I did. Oh, that's sweet. So I made a list of Saturday videos. Vlog, the booktube video I didn't get to make. And the reason why was because I have to read off of my phone. And I was uploading my drama video on my phone when I was doing that. The Peterisms video, here, I'll check off the vlog right here. The Peterisms video I did, drama video I did, and the review video I did. So I did 4 out of the 5 videos that I was going to make today. I didn't have a plan for a Peter Does Stuff video. I need to get back to doing some of the TikTok, the water talks for, well, I need to get back to TikTok too. But maybe I'll do some more dancing. This is a dancing video, TikTok. So maybe I'll do some more dancing TikToks over there. But I need to do more videos because I bought all of that water talk stuff and then I just stopped making those videos. And somebody actually asked the other day, they're like, are you done with the water talk? No, I'm not. I mean, I've got all the stuff. I need to keep on using it, right? So maybe I will do one of those videos tomorrow or Monday. I keep on saying I'm gonna like take the day off and not film any videos, but then like Alex is like napping and stuff, and I'm like, there's no reason for me not to make videos, you know? So, yeah. So, I don't know. So he rested most of the day and looked at TikToks and did stuff like that, and then I filmed the drama video, and then I filmed the Peterisms video and the review video, and then I watched the drama video back and just posted that. And then before I came out and vlogged, I had rendered the review video and the Peterisms videos, and those are both uploading right now. I don't know why, it's so weird, but like my vlog and my Peterisms videos, and I know it's because they're longer, but they take so long to upload. My Peterisms video today, I think it's like it's long. It's like 32 minutes. But when I started uploading it on the computer, it said like an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, or an hour and a half. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, I know there are people out there that are like, well, my videos take 5 and 6 hours to upload. So it makes sense. But like, it doesn't, like on the phone, the reason why I upload videos on my phone is because it's really fast. Like this 55-minute video or 52-minute video that I did today or whatever, I mean, it took like a half an hour to upload on my phone, which that's pretty quick. If I did that on the computer, it would literally, like this vlog today, no matter how long it is, half an hour to 45 minutes or whatever, it'll end up taking probably 2.5 hours to upload because I'll upload it on the computer while I'm like eating and doing other stuff. So But yeah, got those videos done, and then sat out here and watched the drama video back, and well, those were rendering, and then I upload those videos, and now I'm vlogging. And Alex was taking a nap, but I heard him get up. His dinner is at 8:30. Oh, Tanya Jane's calling me. I'll call her back in just a little bit. So he is, I don't know what time he's going. He'll probably leave for about 8, so he's probably going to leave her in about a half an hour. Where am I at on time? 23 minutes. You guys are walking twice today.
Yeah, we haven't quit yet.
You haven't quit?
I'm only kidding.
I mean, that walk was like 2 hours ago. It's beautiful, though.
Gorgeous.
What do you keep in your bag that you walk with? What do you keep in your bag that you walk with?
Oh, this phone.
Your phone?
Yeah, kids, you never know.
Yeah.
Kids, grandkids.
Did you just walk by the pool?
No.
Oh, I was wondering if there's anybody up there.
It didn't look like
It was cloudy and rainy earlier. Now it's nice.
it was, but it didn't look like it.
It's a little cooler, though. Tomorrow it's supposed to be warm again.
As warm as it was today, that water would be delightful.
Yeah, it would. It's humid. It's muggy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I like it, though. In February, I'll be thinking about this muggy weather and wishing we were having humidity again, you know?
I won't have any snow this winter based on what's been happening this summer.
I'm sure. We haven't had a whole lot the last couple winters. Did you guys have chili tonight for dinner?
No. Homemade chicken salad.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. I thought you were a vegetarian. You are. He is?
He's not the vegetarian. I'm the vegetarian.
What did you have?
What did I had a big salad, and then these carrots you can get at Trader Joe's.
Okay.
They're frozen, and they're all different colors of carrots. I mean, it's slices of carrots.
Are they good?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm going to try those.
anything there.
I love Trader Joe's.
Too.
And they're not too expensive either, you know?
No, and they're very helpful. And when I went there the other day, this young man's ringing me up, and he rings the bell. Bing, ding, ding, ding. I thought, well, what's going on? There was he saw that there was a hole in the bag.
Okay.
Somebody, come on, take that, throw it away, go get another one.
Oh, wow.
Where else do you get that kind of stuff?
They always have such fun products up there.
Yeah, they do. They do. They have those little ice cream cones that are really good.
Everybody keeps on telling me about these little ice cream cones. I need to buy those little ice cream cones.
It's called Hold the Cone.
Hold the cone. Are they a Trader Joe's brand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to buy those the next time I'm there.
Really good.
Okay.
Very addictive.
Hey, you guys have a good evening, okay?
Too.
They're so nice. He used to be the president of the HOA, literally for a long time, and they've lived in here for a while, and they're the ones that I talk to a lot. They're the ones that she went to high school with my mom, but didn't remember my mom. But anyway, they're so sweet and so nice, and he's like always encouraging me to get on the HOA board. He's like, you need to get on the HOA board. I have to tell you, and I was just want to tell you one thing, first of all, okay? Well, after the pool incident yesterday, I think I do need to get on the HOA board, but I just want to say, and I haven't read the comments today. I read them last night. But the majority of the comments that I read last night, I guess I should probably read some comments, were very supportive of me and my story. People either thought it was hilarious and funny. Actually, Mel just texted me not too long ago, and she said, you are so ranty. She must be talking about my vlog. I was ranty on my drama video today, too, my Peter Monn video. But so many people were so supportive of the whole situation with the pool yesterday. I just want to say thank you. I was kind of nervous about posting that video yesterday because I thought, I'm going to get a lot of people that are going to be like, well, I have kids and you don't know what it's like, blah, blah, blah. And so many people were like, oh, I feel very similar to this. And I will say the one thing, this is something I did want to say on here. I'm glad I remembered to address this whole pool situation. If it were a friend of mine or a family member of mine, I would say something. I would still be hesitant, I think. But if it was as... I took my allergy medicine and my throat has been itching all day long. If it was as lengthy as what had happened yesterday and went on as long, like, I definitely would say something. I mean, if it was one of my nephews, I would say something. I feel very comfortable. I mean, Alex's whole family, like, I mean, it's like the whole family parents, those kids, right? So if it was one of my nephews and I saw, like, one of them talking to the other one in that way, I would definitely say something. when it's a complete stranger, I'm very apprehensive to get involved and put my 2 cents in. There were just a few people. One person kind of said they were disappointed. I mean, most people were real supportive of me. But there was one person that said something to the effect of, I could probably find a comment on here, because they said something like, not that they were disappointed in me, but that little girl needed somebody to stand up for her, and I could have been that person, and I wasn't. And I really started thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I should have said something, you know? Like, then I started feeling bad, because I was like, I don't know, maybe I should have stood up. And a lot of people were like, I do stand up and say things in those situations. I think in the future, I would sit back and watch it. I have to be honest with you too. I was really more irritated with the grandmother than I was with the kids, in all honesty. Because I think it's an adult's responsibility, especially when she was watching them and she saw the little girl being mean to her sister and to the other girls. And then she would say, no, she didn't. Like, that was my issue with it. I think after 3 or 4 times of me seeing it, I should have said something. I probably either should have said to the grandmother, you know, I don't like what I'm seeing here. Like, I didn't have to say it in front of the girls. I could have, you know, said to the grandmother to the side and been like, I don't really love how this is I mean, like, she's obviously bullying these girls, and this is not nice, and you're not stepping in. And the grandmother could have told me to go F myself, and that would have been what it was, right? But at least I would have said something. I would have stood up. Or I could have looked at the little girl and I mean, I was literally sitting 10 feet away from her. I could have said, don't talk to her sister that way. That's not nice. And if the grandma got mad at me about that, oh well, she got mad at me about that. I don't think that's... It stopped. I don't think that is that horrible to step in and say, I said this was going to be short. Now it's been like 45 minutes, I think, or something like that. I don't remember how long I vlogged before the camera fell. But, I think to say, like, that's not very nice to talk to your sister that way. I don't know. Now, I wish I would have said something in retrospect. Now, watch, I'll get on here, and there'll be all these comments, and people will be like, you should have said something, you should have said something. So here's somebody that said, I just got on a kid at our pool for spitting off the slide into other kids in the pool. I would not have kept my mouth shut. I'm a mom of 5, a foster mom, and a teacher. Somebody said, and they never once said please or thank you for their dolphin feedings. I cannot. Oh, Peter, you're better than me. I probably would have said something if I was there. Somebody said, I would definitely go complain to your HOA. When everybody pays those monthly fees, you shouldn't have to be dealing with other residents sharing their key card to the pool. I agree. Oh, somebody said, I love this video. It's one of my favorites from you. Oh, thank you so much. I Wonder Woman. Somebody said, green-eyed Southern girl said, Peter, I live in the country and I wish you and Alex were our neighbors. Your neighbors are lucky to have such a kind neighbor. You are so sweet. Well, my neighbors are kind too, so, somebody said, the way I cackled at 28 minutes, I don't know, that must be the pool part. LMFAO, I'm so sorry that they were so rude, loud, obnoxious, disrespectful, but this story was so entertaining. LOL, hopefully it doesn't happen again. I'm with you on this, Peter. Go off, Peter. Woo, Peter, I would complain to HOA right away. So unacceptable. Go off. Love you. Somebody said, I totally understand you not wanting to say anything to the oblivious grandma, but I would have totally made a point to compliment the younger sister somersaults and dives. Something along the lines of, wow, you are such a good swimmer and diver. You could be on a swim team. So good. Let the mean, jealous sister and enabling grandma hear someone give the bullied sister positive attention. Somebody said, this is hilarious. This pool story is great and I loved every second of it. Carrie said, Peter, this might have been my favorite vlog you've ever done. I was dying listening to you tell that pool story. You guys, thank you for saying this. You're cracking me up. As a mom of 3, those kids sounded beyond terrible. This is unacceptable. I'm so glad you're reporting it. I despise bullying and can't understand how any adult would let that continue. Somebody said, okay, now I can't wait for Peter to go back to the pool. Peter, is there a limit on the number of guests? Okay, so somebody said something about this. The number, like their pool only allows like 2 guests per pool key, which I'm going to mention in my HOA because I think that needs to be like a strict rule. Peter, is there a limit on the number of guests? This is from Tammy. You can bring to the pool. The pool I go to, each person is only allowed 4 guests. Which, 4 guests plus Alex and I is 6 people. Like, that's still a lot at a kidney-shaped pool. I mean, the pool is small, right? And then she left this other... I feel like you left this comment about another video that I was talking about. Timmy, did you leave it... It's a long comment. I'll read it later, but... Did you leave me a comment about going to a pool where there's almost never anybody there? She must have, because I feel like when I was talking about Tanya and I at the pool, she was talking about how she and she and her friends go to the pool and they take like roasted chickens and whole picnics and things like that. I was like, oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. Wish we were friends. Ara said, the pool story, please. Peter, I'm cackling. Hey, how are you? Stephanie said, I hear you, Peter. If you don't even want to hear your own grandkids, I don't either. Be respectful or stay home. That's a good point with the mother with the earplugs. I mean, obviously she had the earplugs because she didn't want to hear her own grandkids. Sweet D said, I'm so glad you circled back to the pillow spray. Please keep us informed. I will absolutely try it. 2, I will let you know. Francine said, well said, I agree 100% with your feelings. The Bronzed Empress, I like that name, by the way, said, you did better than me, Peter. I would have read the Granny for Filth and told her to take her demon spawn with her, and the next HOA meeting would be lit to the tune of $452 a month for a private pool, private amenities, and no riffraff from outside the community. That poor baby girl is going to grow up hating her grandma. Too bad it's going to unfold right around the time the grandma will need their help as an elderly woman. Respect for family members wasn't built into them as kids. It's not going to exist as adults. I totally agree with that statement. You know, it's so interesting because I grew up in a world where I was told to be, and I think this is obviously why my mom and my aunt didn't want us to know about our grandma going to prison, but like we were brought up to be extremely respectful of adults. I mean, I always called my neighbors Mr. and Mrs. I've shared the story in here that my neighbor that ended up being my nurse when I went to treatment, I mean, I called her, I worked with her for almost 13 years, 12 years, and 12 years and 11 months, or 12 years and 8 months, or something like that. I always called her Mrs. and her last name, and she would say to me, Peter, you don't have to call me Mrs. You can call me by my first name. Like, we work together. I'm like, I can't do that, you know? And I was just always, like, and I don't know if this is just Alex's family, but I do believe it's many people in the Latino community. Like, there is a thing that you say of honor to people that are older than you, like, bendición is what, like, Alex's nephews always say to us when they greet us, and they always are very respectful, and Alex is of his mom and his grandma and does the same thing. And so, oh, look at her little dog, it's so sweet. She got a cute little house dress on for the night. I cannot read her name, but it's like Shannon is Smith or something like that. And she said baby dolphin with a dolphin emoji and a crying girl. It was a lot. Whatever they were doing. Oh my God, it was too much. Jan said, woo, the pool story was incredible. Your insight into people and the human condition made it hard to ignore. It's a long comment. I'll read it later, but thank you. Oh, somebody said something about watering your plants. Cauliflower. I watered my plants yesterday and they were like back to normal again, which is so crazy. Linda said, wow, what a crazy story. Really sad the grandmother didn't defend the younger grandchild. That mean behavior is learned somewhere, maybe at home. I'd be complaining to the HOA too. I agree. Where was the comment that I wanted to read? Hold on. Marky said, if we don't feel comfortable leaving a comment with our questions for your Peterisms channel, how do we get them to you? If you don't want to leave a comment on my Peterisms channel because it's like too personal or something like that, feel free to email it to me. I think I have 2 emails listed underneath my channel. You can email them to either one of them, and you can put in the email, I do not want my name read on this, but I would like this addressed, or if you have any advice. And now, like I said, I'm not going to promise that I said this in my Peterisms video today, that if somebody leaves a comment and I don't read it, it's because I feel like it's too personal of an issue, or I don't feel like I have any kind of experience to share relating to that. So it's not personal that I don't address certain people's comments. I want them to know that. Julie said, it's disturbing how the grandmother was denying the reality of those girls. Prissy Kitty said, Prissy Kitty said, Peter, you look so handsome. If no one told you today, you are an amazing man, special, kind, intelligent, and just downright amazing personality. Love you. You are so sweet. Love you, Peter. John and Friends said, Peter, I want to thank you for posting this video. I can see through the comment section that a lot of people were touched by this. You make such a difference in your viewers' lives. Oh, thank you. I too was bullied as a child due to physical disability. Knowing that so many others share such similar things makes me realize that we all need to speak out against bullying. It's a horrible thing. I sincerely hope that videos like this will reach out into the world and someday people will learn not to treat people that way. Thank you for sharing that, because I was really apprehensive to share the story. And like I said, I'm now, like, in retrospect, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? But I really wish I would have spoken up and said something. I think it was the right thing to do, and I think I knew that at the time, which is why I was so conflicted. And I also think it's why I stayed when Alex left, because I kind of wanted to continue to watch and see if it continued. And I should have said something. I just definitely should have. Carolyn said, never laughed out loud so much. Recovering from a tonsillectomy, and I'm so... Oh, get well soon, sweetie. Hope you're feeling better. Jojo said, for anyone wanting a sleep spray, it's on sale at Nordstrom for $22 instead of $30. So there you go. And she commented on the thing, too. She said she would have found it hard not to say something. Honestly, even just so that young girl knew one person did see how she was being treated. That's where I feel bad about it, you know? This is the comment right here. It's from Adric. I think or Addie Reich. I wish you would have been the neighbor to stand up and say something to the grandma. I mean, this really brings almost kind of tears to my eyes, because she's right. I wish you would have been the neighbor to stand up and say something to the grandma. She apparently wasn't even the true key holder, and the little girl needed a neighbor to step in for her today, and it didn't happen for her either. And when I read that comment last night, because all the comments were really glowing about me sharing the story and whatever, and I read that comment, and I thought, you know what, you're absolutely right. I should have been the neighbor to stand up, you know? When I sit there and I talk about how I only had 3 teachers that stood up for me, and how all of my neighbor kids were so nice to me, probably because their parents behind the scenes were saying, you're going to be nice to Peter, you know? I mean, at the time, it wasn't just that I was an effeminate kid. It was that my mother was the only single mother on the street. We were the only divorced family, you know? And a lot of the neighbors, the parents and the kids, really surrounded me with love and kindness and compassion and, you know, and just blessings, because I think they felt for us. I think they're probably, in retrospect, a lot of the parents knew that my mother was an alcoholic. You know, she'd sit on the front porch and drink and beer. I mean, it wasn't, you know, I mean, they would have known, you know? And so I think they probably felt bad for me, and they spoke up for me behind the scenes, I'm assuming, because nobody ever treated me differently or said anything to me. I mean, I never once on the street got called slurs and horrible names, and they just included me in everything, you know? It was only at school, and then I think about the fact that there was only like a couple teachers, 3 teachers maybe, that ever stood up for me. And not even really that well, that, yeah, I do wish I would have been the neighbor that stood up. And I think it was a good learning experience for me that, you know, talk is cheap, and put your action, you know, where your words are, and that I should have stood up for him. So thank you for saying that to me, because I do definitely think that maybe had I said something, that little girl would have looked at it and been like, wow, at least somebody recognizes what's going on, you know? I don't know. Makes me sad. I wouldn't want anybody going to sleep at night crying because they didn't feel like anybody stood up for them. I used to feel that way, that nobody stood up for me, even though they would see it blatantly going on. Teachers would sit there and hear kids call me names, you know, the F name and things like that, and act like they didn't hear it. And it bothered me that I was being called those names, but sometimes it bothered me more that nobody stood up for me. So you're right, I should have been the person to stand up for the grandma. I think, or stand up to the grandma. I think in today's time, you know, like, you don't want to be, I should speak for myself. I think people are so sensitive to people saying things or trying to tell you how to parent or grandparent or do whatever, that I try to kind of just stay out of that. And I think that was what was in my head, instead of doing what was the right thing to do. And the right thing to do was to either say something to the grandma or look right at the girl with the grandma watching and say, please don't speak to your sister that way. That's not very nice, you know? there were enough people around that it wasn't like, it was just like me, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been said, and then the grandma, she could have dealt with it however she was going to deal with it, but at least I would have said something. And I wish I had, in retrospect. I really do. I'm not comfortable in situations like that, you know, and that's no excuse. That's no excuse. With my history, I should have absolutely 100% stood up and said something. So thank you for the comment, because it really made me think about it, you know. So on that note, I'm gonna, you know, I think, and that's where I think that in life you're presented with lessons, and lessons are repeated until they are learned. And I hope this is a lesson for me that doesn't have to be repeated. I'm not put in that position very, very often, but if I am again, I will step up to the plate and say something. And, you know, I think that life is a learning experience, you know, and that you're continuing to be presented with situations. I don't know. But thank you guys for all the positive support on it, and thank you for challenging me and saying that. And you said it in a very nice way, you know? You said that, and I appreciate that. So thank you, because I needed to hear that. So thank you very much, and thank you for all the comments on the video yesterday. Thank you for all the comments always. I love reading the comments. And I'm going to go back in and read all the comments from today that I haven't read since from that one going forward. And if I read your comment today and it made you happy, good. People are always like, you read my comment, it made me so happy. I was in my car listening to your vlog as I was driving home, or I was at home doing dishes or cleaning, and I heard my name and it made me so happy. Oh, I love that. It makes me so happy too. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday, and that you are having a really fun weekend. Fantastic and amazing weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, I'm already thinking about the title of this video. I'm like, I'm going to call this video Regrets. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your weekend, or your week if you need to. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face, you might be cheering them up, you might be making their day, and you might be making them feel not so all alone. You don't know. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more, because why is so grammatically incorrect, but I don't care. Because why, it all starts with you. And you gotta love yourself first and be kind to yourself first before you can love other people and be kind to them as well. So, I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, those that want to hear it, and those that need to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around. Yes, Troy, that means you. Because he says this every day in the comment sections. One more, I love you. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.